everyone's here. Yeah. So we wait for the rest a while. In the meantime, maybe we can answer this Q&A, right? So we start from yesterday's question we can expand on. There are 4 kinds of these samadhi. 4 kinds of samadhi. So the Buddha mentioned in this Samadhi Sutta, I think it's in this So the Buddha mentioned there are 4 different types of concentration, 4 different types of samadhi. So the first kind is the jhanas, leads to pleasant abiding. So the person wants contentment. Samadhi Sutta. So there are many suttas with Samadhi Sutta. So for this particular one, the Buddha mentioned there are 4 classifications. So the first one is this jhanas, pleasant abiding. Second one is this samadhi that leads to development of this knowledge and vision. So the one we talked about yesterday, some people want to see things in meditation, so this leads to these visions, higher knowledge. And the third one is this leading to mindfulness. So the person observes arising and passing, and that's also another kind of concentration. But that's not jhana. And the fourth one is if a person continues number 3, they will reach number 4. So a person managed to eradicate all the defilements, watching this arising and passing, they will attain a new kind of samadhi. So that's exclusively for enlightened beings or close to enlightenment. They will experience this new samadhi for enlightened beings. So for the first time, jhanas who have not heard of this term before, So jhanas is in the Noble Eightfold Path, this right concentration, the Eightfold Path right concentration is defined as the 4 jhanas, first jhana to the 4th jhana. So there are 4 levels of these jhana concentrations. So recommended by the Buddha, because the 4th jhana has equanimity, has the emotion of equanimity, and it's useful to sort of strengthen mindfulness or keep the mind objective, not easily shaken. Because if you want to investigate all kinds of dharmas, for example, your 6 senses, your 5 entities, if you do not have equanimity, you observe the eyes and wow, so nice, so beautiful. Then you end up not observing, the nature. You just go into the content, or you start to think on something, and you go to the drama, and go to the content, you go to the story. So you need certain equanimity to anchor the mind. So equanimity is sort of like essential. It's like children when they start learning to ride bicycle. Normally they don't ride the 2 wheels straight away. You give them the 2 side wheels and then the 4-wheel bicycle. So the equanimity is something like that. So the jhana equanimity is just assisting tool for the child to sort of learn how to ride the bicycle. So once if the person has enough vipassana and they have a new kind of equanimity, they may not need that 2 wheels anymore. So that's just a stepping stone. But in total, there are 8 kinds of jhanas. There are 8 levels of jhanas. So this one is being mentioned even before the Buddha got enlightened. So the Buddha, or the Bodhisattva Gautama, learned from 2 ascetic teachers. And the first ascetic teacher taught him this 7 using the eye perception or non-perception. So same thing, they also believe in quieting the mind, but then you cannot quiet the mind 24/7. So he left this practice, then he went to the torturing himself practice to burn all the karma supposedly, but still cannot find the solution. Every time you torture yourself, you let's say complain, very big, you're creating new karma again. So there's no way to burn all the karma, and there's no way to burn all the karma. So he discovered his own middle way. Okay, so that's for the first kind of samadhi called the jhanas. And the second kind of samadhi is this developing higher knowledge and vision. So in the sutta it's mentioned a person must perceive day, bright light, the whole day, and even nighttime you also must perceive it as daytime. And so that's the so-called brief instruction. So basically the whole day must be imagined as one. So that is the development of this higher knowledge and vision. So if a person wants to have higher knowledge, in Buddhism we say there are 6 kinds of higher knowledges. 6 kinds of higher knowledges. So the first higher knowledge is this recollecting our past lives. It can be your past life or other people's past lives, so that's one. Then you have the divine eye, you have to see other beings, other realms, so that's divine eye. And you have the divine ear, so you have hear the sound from other realm or faraway place. No divine nose. Mind reading ability, so you can, some people can read minds, a bit like some movie or comic X-Men like that. Then next one is telekinesis, able to move objects with the mind, able to fly, can dive into the earth, walk through the wall, that kind of stuff. Then the last one is I mentioned 5 already. Okay, so the 6th one, the last one is this knowledge to overcome all the defilements. So only the enlightened being will have the 6th kind of knowledge. So the previous few, all those things which magician can do also, those things are we call mundane higher knowledges. Mundane higher knowledges. You don't have to be a spiritual person to have these mundane knowledges. I give an example. The most recent case, or the most recent documented case, have you heard of the Cold War between Russia and US? So there's this program, they call this they have the psychic spies. They have this program called the remote viewing. So those people who have more like psychic incline, they are sort of selected to be spies. So they have this training program, they do certain kind of visualization or meditation. And they don't even need to step into enemy territory and they can locate the target. So they can sit in their base and they just meditate. So sort of anything, close their eyes and they can pinpoint where's the enemy and they bomb the place like that. So these things may not be used for wholesome purposes. So that's called mundane higher knowledges. And these spirits, the devas, they're strictly born in this ability. When they're born, they have this ability already. They don't even need to meditate. So like the demons, they also have this. So if a person only want to specialize in having this ability, but they don't want to transform their character, and they are no different from a demon. So a demon also have power, so no big deal. And I'm going to mention that again. Okay, I'm going to skip first. Okay, and for this thing, development of this vision and the bright lights and all, or visualization exercise, different teachers have different opinion. So as you can see, I'm not very pro mentioned, there are teachers who are pro this vision and not so keen in this kind of vision. So, for example, the founder of the forest tradition in Thailand, his biography mentioned he resigned to go and see the bright light, he started to see all those devas and stuff like that. Yeah? So that's for him. Yeah? So he promoted this kind of thing. Yeah? Then some of his disciples, like I'm going to mention another monk, Long Ajahn Chah. You heard of Ajahn Chah before? Yeah, Ajahn Chah. So Ajahn Chah is the more wisdom kind, so it's not into all this kind of supernatural stuff. So one student asked him this question: in my meditation, I see bright light. Now, what does it mean? Or how should I go on from? Or what does it mean? So basically, that's the question. And you know how Ajahn Chah answered? He took out his torchlight and then he just shine on the person. Shine on the person. So it's like saying, my torchlight also got light. Yeah, so the light is one thing. How you interpret or how you perceive the light is another thing. Yeah, so a person can see the light in greed and hatred. So, or you can use treating as detachment. And so that is depend on your reflection. And then have you heard of Ajahn Thanisaro? Ajahn Thanisaro. So he translated a lot of this scripture. Yeah, so he's supposedly the first Caucasian monk to go to Thailand to take the Pali examination in the Thai language. He's the first Caucasian to do it, and he passed all the highest grade, and then he was awarded this Chao Kun title. It's a bit like a Christian's equivalent to like Archbishop like that. So he got this Chao Kun title, and he went back to America. So because he got this Pali, like the Thai version of the degree, then he can do his own translation. So a lot of the terms he translates may not be the same as other translators. Like suffering, he translates stress. The first overture is stress. Yeah. Then foundation of mindfulness, he become 4 frames of reference. So very different. So the things the terms he used can be very different. So sometimes you read another sutta to look at the words and you can understand what he's trying to say. Yeah, so that's for him because he already passed the exam, so he can translate whatever word you want. But if you haven't get any degree, and then let's say you're new and you're taking the exam, let's say before you start translating anything, you write 4 frames of reference or you write stress, maybe the examiner will mark you wrong. This is a wrong translation. So this is for him. Okay, so anyway, this Ajahn Thanisaro, he has 2 teachers, 2 different teachers. And one is Long Pu Fong, F-U-A-N-G. So Long Pu Fong is a master that doesn't encourage these seeing of lights. And doesn't encourage. So there's a story in one of his books. So this Long Pu Fong has a monastery. So he's an abbot of the monastery. And in the monastery there are these menchi. So menchi is a bit like every center lady. They stay in the monastery, up to maintain the monastery, do the cleaning, cooking, and stuff like that. And similarly, there are retreat participants. Yeah? Retreat participants can stay for a few days or 1 week, then they leave. So when they have these retreats, this menchi is like overheard the conversation, and she hears, oh, this meditator, they can see like they see some interesting thing but she stayed in the monastery for so many years, never see anything. So she went to this abbot, this Long Pu Fong, and asked him, Long Pu, Venerable Father, I stay in the monastery for so long. This meditator come for a while, they see all these things. How come I cannot see anything? How come? Then this Long Pu Fong answered and told her, you know you very late. You're so late, so lucky, so fortunate. those people that sitting, I so worry for them. Worry for them. So which is quite true, because there are people who, let's say, without proper guidance, can go wrong and can go astray. So personally myself, I have witnessed at least 2 months this road because of this kind of related practice. So the first month that I know is more senior than me at the time, he claimed to be able to sit 14 hours straight, 1-4, without moving. And then what was he doing in the city? He said he sees the Deva. So it's 14 hours of virtual reality. So down there interacting with the Deva, in 14 hours. So sit there and think more, very good meditator. 14 hours doing his own virtual reality. But then, after some time, he's like a bit cannot differentiate between this reality and whatever he sees. I mean, like cannot differentiate. So sometimes, like in the forest, maybe he hello to somebody, and then he go in the forest, got lost. Yeah, so somebody must form a search party to go and look for him. I feel like that. And sometimes in Thailand, there's the monks need to transport from one place to another, so they sit at the back of a lorry. And so for no reason, when the lorry is moving that time, he just jump off. Yeah, like that. Yeah? So they don't know who is talking. So that's the danger. And then close to Kisao case here. Yeah? And the next month is this junior than me. But then he's training to see his right light, to see his light. And afterwards, he's claimed to be able to see some spirits. After he sees some spirits, the first thing he do, he disrobe. And then he become a Taoist priest. Because Buddhist monk cannot catch ghosts. And Taoist priest can catch ghosts. So now he full-time Taoist priest. So it's still around. So this is my encounter. So if a person do not have right view, they will straight, go to the extreme. So for Ajahn Thanisaro, he has another teacher, which is Ajahn D. So Ajahn D is the one with the breath meditation, encourage all these kind of supernatural things and so on. So different teachers have different perspective. So depend on who you follow and how they guide you. So this is for this thing. And for past life, nowadays there's this thing called this past life regression therapy. You heard of this before? Past life regression therapy. Yeah, the therapist will hypnotize you, then will ask you questions. Yeah, then you subconsciously you answer, and then you start to think of can recall your so-called past life. So somehow it is documented and sort of like proven to be like authentic. So past life regression therapy. So people going to meditate for so many hours to see past life. They just go attend this past life regression therapy and go one session before just see the past life. So these are considered mundane knowledges. So a lot of devas also, they can see past life. The demons also can see past life, but no, not liberated. So if a person doesn't have right view, they will see past life. Where I keep my treasure, my past life. What's the partial number? And so this is what happened. Okay, then the third kind of samadhi is this mindfulness. If a person keep observing, arising and passing of your feelings, of your thoughts, then this will develop, sharpen this mindfulness. So this is the third kind of samadhi. So the third one you cannot equate to the first one. The third one is different from the first one. Likewise, it's different from the second one. And likewise, you cannot say the first one is the same as the second one. You cannot say jhana is the same as this light. So there's confusion, there's a stereotype or misunderstanding. People think that people who practice psychic ability or some psychic ability, right? So which is not true. And vice versa, some people think if a person is enlightened, they will have psychic ability. And one example I will give is this case study of this between Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Moggallana. So Venerable Sariputta is the right hand man of the Buddha, foremost in wisdom, and Venerable Moggallana is the left hand man of the Buddha, foremost in psychic power. So they are contrasting. So there's this particular sutta called the Junha Sutta, Junha. So Junha Sutta is a story where both of them were meditating in a cave. Meditating inside a cave. So Venerable Moggallana is meditating in the pitch darkness deep inside the cave. And Venerable Sariputta is meditating at the entrance of the cave, facing the open sky. And so the story goes that two yakas fly past, two these heavenly beings, like demons like that. Then they saw this monk and Venerable Sariputta. Wow, he's so shiny, and he just shake the head. Wow, the head is so shiny. I feel like whacking the head. Yeah, for no reason, just want to hit the head. So he take his weapon, the club, and then Venerable Sariputta and fire. And so this is the hit and run kind of incident. So Venerable Moggallana saw what happened. So quickly ran out from inside the cave, ran outside to the exit, and asked, "Hey, Venerable Sariputta, are you okay now?" Then this Venerable Sariputta, I got a bit of headache. Don't know why. Then Venerable Moggallana asked him, "Do you see what happened?" And Venerable Sariputta, "No, what happened?" And he cannot see what happened. And then Venerable Moggallana have to tell him what happened. And this will be very harmful here. And Venerable Sariputta, "Oh, is it? Wow." Then Venerable Sariputta praised Venerable Moggallana for his divine eye, because he cannot see anything. And he said he cannot see anything. So he praised Venerable Moggallana. Then Venerable Moggallana, out of consolation, also praised Venerable Sariputta. Because you have this enlightened samadhi. You see what enlightened is enlightened. So his samadhi is a bit like a force field also. So spiritual attack will be reduced. So normal person, if kena hit by this yaka, his head is split. For him, he just hit it only. So got discount also. So that's the story. So that's one example. But did Venerable Sariputta have any, let's say, jhanas? And so there's a sutta where the Buddha praised Venerable Sariputta is able to do all the jhanas. The first, second, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so it's in this Anubbara Sutta, one after the other. So this Buddha praised Venerable Sariputta being able to differentiate all the factors. His discernment. So that's the case study. Anyway, and also for enlightened beings, do you think it's necessary for them to have all this ability or any of this ability? Who say enlightened beings should have? All very confident. Who say don't have one? Enlightened being not necessarily have psychic ability. Only a few are. Okay, so there is a particular sutta, another case study called the Susima Sutta. So that's the place we are going later, Susima Bentok. So that's the name of the sutta, Susima. So Susima is actually a spy from another religion. So they want to know why Buddhism is growing. How come the Buddha disciples get more and more? And then, so when people offer gifts, so they want to know what's the trade secret. So he managed to ordain, become a monk. So right in front of the Buddha, so the Buddha was there. And the Buddha allowed, you go ordain. So he managed to get the ordination. So after he got ordination, right immediately, there's a group of young monks, new monks, not saying newly ordained, a group of young monks that declare they reached enlightenment. So Susima is so happy, so went to interview them. You're enlightened, right? So this must be, yeah. So can What's so special about this your religion, right? And you want to know what's so special about your Dhamma. So the Buddha taught this Susima how to see the five aggregates and how to see the five aggregates. And then from there, the Buddha expand on this dependent origination. So this dependent origination, nothing to do with Siva's life. So he's able to understand or see the truth. So he seen the Dhamma, so he got enlightened. And Buddha started asking, can you see your past life? He said, hey, cannot there. Cannot see past life. Then can you see other people's past life? But also cannot. They ask all the questions and also cannot. So he started to realize his mistake and he asked the Buddha for forgiveness. So he managed to ask forgiveness and he became a Brahman. So there's the story of this Susima. And so there's a lot of misunderstanding, with a lot of terms of misconception, with a lot of these kind of things. So hopefully we can do more discussion or comparison and more people can have a bigger picture of what's going on. So that's for the mindfulness part, the third kind of samadhi. And the fourth kind of samadhi is liberation. So if a person continue this number 3 is observing this impermanence, they will develop this new kind of samadhi only for enlightened individuals and observe arising past in 5 aggregates. So that's why one of the have you heard of the 10 fetters before? 10 fetters, right? So an enlightened being, an arahant, will not be attached to form and formless concentrations. Will not be attached because they have a different concentration in it. They have something more supposedly enticing, more delightful than the formless concentration. Whereas the string enterer, all the way to non-returner, may not have fully experienced this new kind of samadhi. So when they enter concentration, they still stay there, they don't want to stay there. So there's a certain kind of clinging. So that is the difference. Okay. Any question you ask? Thanks for time. Let's do that.
like this, I sometimes suppose saying some Buddhist monk actually can travel and travel.
Okay.
Go to places.
Okay.
Can it be true?
In the sutta is mentioned like teleporting. Teleporting is mentioned in the sutta, yeah. But whether now people do it, I don't know now. Okay. So is that the only thing you want to ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is some books.
Okay.
There is some Tibetan monk you can do this.
Okay.
So maybe the reason they want to do psychic power and to show is because they want to attract the people.
Depends on perspective. Maybe in the past, last time there's lower technology. So they want to receive news, they want to know what's going on in the world. Then they may use this ancient kind of so-called technology and this supernatural ability. So those days it might be an essential skill set for them. So it might be quite common for people at that time. So nowadays, if you want to know the news, you just take out your phone and you know the news already. You don't even need to develop this. So modern times, there may not be a demand for this kind of ability. Very different now. And so times have changed. And so it may not be such thing. So probably maybe in places high up the mountains, maybe no reception. So they want to know what's going on there. Who knows? Yeah.
So the things like magicians.
Okay.
Magicians, they are what level are they? Are they in a kind of?
Okay, magicians are mostly sleight of hand, illusion and sleight of hand, using deception. It's not using true mind ability. Mostly is the deception. But it appears like they have power, So if you want to know about magicians, I was researching on this American guy, this American magician called James Randi. James Randi. He passed away already. So he offered this award. That time he offered $1 million to anybody who claimed they can have performed this supernatural ability and they can prove it in a controlled setting. So he's like a judge. So under control setting, in an enclosed room, can you still perform this, something like that. So if you can do it, he'll give you $1 million. That's similar to the story of this Arhan Pindola. There's this monk, there's this particular person who made a declaration. He believed there's no more enlightened beings in the world, there's no more people with psychic power. Whoever who has psychic power, you can prove to me. You put a pole high up on the long pole, if you can fly up and take it, that means you win, the pole is yours. So one enlightened monk, his member Pindola, he flew up, he took the pole, Yeah, so after the Buddha knew about it, the Buddha summoned him, took the pole and then he smashed the pole on the ground. So he said, this is not the right kind of behavior. So the reason of using this ability for the last resort is to sort of help the other party to reduce either their ego or their craving and then learn the Dharma. So for the case of this Pindola, the other person never done anything. It's more like, okay, we know, okay, so now I know there's people with a psychic ability, but no interest to learn the Dharma. So in this case, it's more like become like for show, So in this plane can fly, and take this ball. So the Buddha is not very pleased with this Arhan Pindola. So for this James Randi guy, he claimed that his organization hasn't issued anybody with the $1 million. That means nobody won anything. Maybe there are people who have abilities but they don't show. But those who came up to sort of prove they have this ability mostly are fraudsters, fraudsters. So they accepted the challenge. They came on the so-called television show and they performed. He's able, because he's a magician, so he knows all the trickery. So he's able to find out how you play tricks and stuff like that and debunk most of them. So that's this James guy. So if you're interested, you can look for this guy. So in this world, there is like magicians. We call this how do you call it? Sleight of hand. And there are other practices, even if it's supernatural. The Buddha may call it animal knowledge. Animal knowledge, such as, for example, black magic or demonology. So all these are considered, we call this animal knowledge. And so the Buddha always encouraged, we call this miracle of instruction. And so some people was asking the Buddha, why don't you teach commoners with this psychic ability? So the Buddha discouraged teaching commoners with psychic ability. First is the skeptics will first think it's a trick, it's a magic trick. Or they will think it is using this kind of animal knowledge and this kind of black magic. And so this is the skeptic point of view. Then for those who are blind faith, too much faith, they won't learn anything. And they'll just continue to be stuck with this blind faith. So the Buddha preferred another method called this miracle of instruction. That means able to give instruction how to direct your mind, what to think, what to reflect, on how you place your attention here, what to do there. So this is called miracle of instruction. So this is more beneficial. So this is the recommended technique.
咒语也是 animal knowledge 咒语。
咒语是什么 mantra？看 is maybe related to Dharma, I think nothing wrong. But if the mantra is related to curses, to how to curse, how to get rich, how to whatever, right? Not Dharma related, then it's animal knowledge. Anyone else? Yeah.
Like for this morning's meditation,
Yeah.
okay, when we hear the azan,
Okay.
the prayers, how do we deal with it?
Very good question. Yeah, so maybe I haven't taught you this technique yet. Okay, so how to deal with distraction? So in life, we cannot live in a space or vacuum. So there will be noise. Yeah, the car noise, anybody got noise, the neighbor got noise, the boss got noise, right? So the whole idea is, ideally, we should not have our happiness affected by external things. External noise shouldn't affect our happiness. We should have certain, we should be happy regardless of the situation. So that's the idea. So later on, maybe I will teach you how to practice open awareness meditation. So open awareness is different from what we're doing. So all the while, for the past 1 or 2 days, we've been teaching the restricted form meditation, putting the 4 elements within the body, and expanded form meditation outside. Right? So later on, I'll introduce you this open awareness. Open awareness means do not direct the mind, do not expand the mind, do not control, do not ask it to move here or there. So basically, it's more freestyle than the open awareness. So it's a bit, maybe a bit more skill, require more skill. So this one requires certain level of equanimity first. Then you can do this. So we do a short experiment, see whether you can detect. Okay, so I want you to place your finger up. Place your finger, like baby Buddha. Okay, then we are going to point the location of your attention. Where are you paying attention now? Some of you paying attention to me, okay, yeah? And then every moment, where's your attention now? Some always up there. Where's your attention? Is it always at me? Is it jumping around somewhere? I give you some time to observe. Are you also focused? Okay, so now I want you to, without focusing, that means relax, your mind relax, let it be like, say, 做功, that means you relax mind, you do not deliberately direct to anywhere. Yeah? So you just point, locate where's your attention. Some people not moving. Okay. Okay, now I need you to change the bit. Now we're going to point which of your senses are you using. If you're using your eye, then you point your eye. If you're using your ears, then you point your ear. If your attention is using your ear, then you point your ear. If you're thinking, then you point your head. thinking? Okay, who can feel your attention running around? And who can feel attention running around? Only one person, the rest cannot. Okay, a few person. Okay, so our attention running around is very normal. And this is not attention deficit disorder. This is, we call this mind is impermanent. And the 5 areas is impermanent, they keep changing, and they keep running around to the different sense doors. And so you know these 5 areas, they operate through our sense doors. When we see something, there's 5 areas. When we hear something, there's 5 areas. When we feel something, when we touch the ground, there's 5 areas being used. So the 5 areas is the equipment to observe all this and to observe all this. So later on in the meditation, there are 2 ways to handle distraction. One is the samatha method. Samatha method, if let's say you're doing the restricted mind method, means you go up the noise. If you don't care the noise, that means you come back to your meditation theme. If you feel your body, you start to feel your body, ignore the noise. So that is the restricted method. Yeah? So open awareness method means if there's noise, never mind your attention go to the noise now, then see how it changes. Is it always at the noise or is it changing? You know how it arrives, how it passes away. So it's more investigative in nature. So that's the open awareness. So there are different styles, and so you can explore, and there's benefit to it. So if the open awareness one, watching this arising and passing, you will sharpen your mindfulness. That is part of the 3rd kind of samadhi. And the 3rd kind of samadhi. And so we can try this, but we can answer your question first. You have some question. Some who want to ask a question?
Isn't it like the monkey mind if you moving around when you're not supposed to do that?
No. It's not supposed to do that. Our mind has different cognitive functions. Yes, we cannot be 24/7 always fixated at something. And different activity require different cognitive functions. No? Let's say if we cross the road, we need to have a wider area of attention. If you're reading something, you cannot have a wide area of attention. You do something and then blah. So you need to focus. So there's a restricted mode, there's an expanded mode. And then even when you're resting, sort of like relaxing and doing nothing, this is the supposedly monkey mind mode. So that is the most natural process of the mind. The most natural process of the mind. So when the mind is not being directed to do anything, you can also practice detachment. So you can find this in the 4 foundation of mindfulness. This Citta-Nusati, mindfulness or mind states. So the Buddha mentioned the different states of mind restricted, non-restricted, concentrated, non-concentrated, so on and so forth. So one of them is if you open awareness, the mind is not restricted, then you still can practice detachment. So you can observe arising and passing. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do later. Okay. Any other question?
Bhante, in the situation just now, can we also practice metta?
Yeah, okay.
Set the mouth, asan, then we metta.
Yeah, which the sound will have you know. Of course we can. Yeah. Okay, if there's nothing then we can try. Before we try that, we do a bit of walking meditation. Because you all haven't officially done walking meditation before. Yeah. Done before. Done before.
All of us have.
Oh, I've done before. Okay. Then I don't have to teach you walking meditation.
Maybe Bhante can share your experience.
Okay. So I do a bit of sharing. There's no like 100% right method, but okay, this is just a general guideline because everybody needs to walk. So the whole idea is when we are walking, we also can practice this right thought, practice this metta also. Okay, so this is called the formal way of walking meditation. In life, life, you're not really doing this in your work and stuff like that, right? So this is only for your formal practice. Formal practice. So normally, for hands, we say we don't swing the hands around. So we either put the hands in front or behind. Front, behind. So this is to prevent distraction. So the less distraction, the better. So when we walk the time, the speed, to me, is not important. Speed, you try walking around first, a bit faster. Then later on, it will adjust to your natural speed according to your state of mind. So it should be the right speed for your mind, because if it's too fast, then you become too restless. If it's too slow for your mind, then you feel drowsy. So you need the right speed. So nobody knows what's the right speed, only you yourself know what's the right speed. You have to try for yourself. And the right speed is different from time to time, because our state of mind is different from time to time. And so we can adjust, walk. So the same thing, the eyes is cast downwards, and it's not shopping, so nice. Okay. But in life, actually, you can also do that if you really need to do it in your actual activity. But for formal practice, we learn to understand the mind first. So that this is more high-level thing, if you try to get distracted. Okay, so when you walk, some practices may want you to do this, do all this, that. Up to you, depends on what you're looking for. To me, the physical posture is just the hardware. So now we must know what's the software. So the posture walking is one thing, but in the mind you can do any kind of practice. You can do samatha, you can do vipassana, you can do restricted awareness, you can do open awareness, depends on individual. So like in the Thai forest tradition, most of them is when they walk, they just chant good. So it's very samatha based. So you can walk and good. So you want to do like well and happy, also can well and happy. Right? So one thing well, one thing happy. Also can. So that is like very focused. And then if you want to wish all beings well and happy, expanded mind also can. And whatever you do in your sitting, you can do in your walking also. It's basically like that. That's all. So if let's say you want to watch the elements, right? The different sensations, different elements, you can also do it within the body or at the feet. The area of attention is up to you to adjust. If you think you want to observe within the feet, that's fine. Then you can just observe how these elements change. Maybe the floor feels very cold or whatever, right? So the elements are changing, you feel warmer, colder, and hardness, softness, and all those, right? So you can do that also. So the whole idea is every moment you are generating this right thought, either loving kindness or impermanence. Right? If you just observe for the sake of observing without any labeling, then it's a bit wasting of the phenomenon. Just like every day, the sun and the sun rise and fall, the moon rise and fall, a lot of things change, but we never get any wisdom because we never label and we never take note. We never convert the changes to wisdom. And so for this one, it's very micro. Every small change you observe, you must label. Either you have the right thought, loving kindness must label, or you label with this impermanence. And so you gain something out of it. Okay. If you just observe, anybody can observe also. Scientists can observe, body get old, right? You observe the stars keep changing, but they're not enlightened. And so you need to have the right reflection, right labeling. Okay. So that's about it. So for walking, distance to me also not so important. The whole idea is to find the same amount of distance that you can walk back and forth, so that you don't need to worry too much about banging into something. Yeah, so you can just focus on your theme of contemplation when you're walking. Yeah, and when let's say there's a lot of people walking, try to make sure everybody is walking in the same direction. And if everybody is walking like that, walk like that. You don't walk something about like that, then you might need the traffic light. You're younger people.
Can you go around like properly at that?
Also can, yeah, also can. So there's no 100% hard and fast rule on this walking. Yeah? So as long as you can generate right thought, then it's okay.
Maybe you can show us the turn.
Turning, okay. Turning again, there's no hard and fast rule. So you walk, and you can turn, yeah? As long as you can observe something or you can reflect on something, the number of times you want to turn, number of steps, not important. Not important. Not important, eh? You want to do the marching style and no marching, then like Hussein, like how you turn, whatever, not so important. Yeah? The whole idea is every moment is right reflection. Okay. Alright. Okay, so we go for a break first, maybe 5-minute break.